Yo, what's going on, comic compadres, and welcome back to the Hoodrat Comics Podcast, where I'm Hoodrat, you're Hoodrat, and what? We all Hoodrats trying to dig in them dollar bins, trying to find them gems, trying to find them good investments, and trying to find them books for the next generation so we can pass the love of comics on to 2030, 2040, 2050, and beyond. But yo, man, I got my boy Godly on here. What's up? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing awesome, man. I think we have a special guest today. Well, who is he? You haven't told me who it was yet.
I think he got one of the best comic book stores, best collectible stores in San Diego County.
And I only know one shop.
Bro, one shop. He's right next to the convention center. What we got going on in the convention center today that we're airing this? So, this is a place you should stop by when you're at San Diego Comic Con Special Edition, or what they're calling it, hashtag CCSE. Let me bring in our real comic fam out here in San Diego, California, and Aaron, bro, what's going on, man? How you doing,
guys?
Bro?
Thanks so much for having me on. No, don't bow. None of that bowing nonsense.
Right, let me go on my knees real quick.
No. We're the same. We are equal.
Wow, we are equal. Okay. Let me bow down real quick, man. You're the one with the shop. We don't got shops.
Bro, I can tell you, man.
Look at that background. It's way better than ours. You're trying to one up us.
No. I got to keep up with you guys.
Oh, okay.
You have your collectors drooling right now. Like, oh my god. Yeah. You say, oh my god, go to his shop if you're coming down here for San Diego Comic Con special. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk more about Aaron and where you guys can find Aaron at over here in San Diego. So, Aaron, where can they find you, bro?
The shop is at 1055 F Street, downtown in San Diego. We're just outside Gaslamp. We're about 3/4 of a mile north of the convention center. So if you cross over the footbridge and then head up straight past Petco, we are just on 11th. Follow that all the way up for about a half a mile past the footbridge. And you'll get to the shop. Pretty short walk from the con. We're the only shop within 5 square miles of the convention center, I think. So super close to downtown, close to all the hotels, all the restaurants. So if folks want to stop by, we are more than happy to hang.
Most definitely. And I gotta tell you guys, and I said it like 100 times before, you never find a more organized and cleaner shop than Aaron's. Yeah. Aaron's shop is like so organized, man. If you want first appearance, you got a whole bin for you.
A full of first appearances.
I try to make it easy for folks.
If you want variants, he got a whole variants for you.
If you want new arrivals, he has a bin for that, just for new arrivals.
New arrivals are healthy, dude. We got 3 new long boxes of new arrivals in the last week.
Wow, man. I gotta stop by.
And his $2 bins are all alphabetical organized. Like, you ain't gonna find bins organized that are $1 and $2 bins. Like, if you're looking for that book, you're gonna find it for your fillers, man. So but Aaron, man, what you got going on for because we're airing this today, and today is the San Diego Comic Con special right now, right? It's happening right now. So if you're watching this in the morning, like before you go in, while you're eating your breakfast, all pumped up, put on your badge, put on your nerd shirt, put on your nerd hat, and you put on your cosplay. Yo, check this out, man. You guys should go check out Aaron over here. What you got going for San Diego Comic Con special?
Oh,
man?
Nice.
We're going to be open all weekend long, 11 to 7. We got a special $1 comic sale. So all of our books upstairs, the $2 bins that we're just gassing up, they are just $1 a book. If people are buying in bulk, we'll probably do bigger discounts after that too. We got a whole new collection of about 25 long boxes that we're putting out for the first time. Like, nobody's ever seen them before. Those are all going to be $1 a book. And we're going to be hiding a bunch of gift certificates in those books. So little golden ticket surprises for folks. We're hiding $300 worth of gift certificates in
wow.
So folks,
like a complete $300.
No, like $10, $20.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's really nice.
Box and you grab like an ambush bug comic, you open it up, and $20 gift certificate falls out. Like, it's not a bad buy. So I'm trying to keep it fun for folks, trying to keep everybody excited. And we're going to be refreshing our showcase downstairs. So all of our showcase books, we just pulled out all of the books that were in the showcase. And like I said, we've been getting in so many collections lately. We're going to load that up with 50, 60 books that haven't been out on the show floor before. So we're getting a whole new showcase worth of new keys and first appearances.
Oh my goodness!
Remember that time, Golly, when Aaron did that his dollar bins and he put like Moon Knight #1 and another thing and another thing.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that, bro? Like
yes, I do.
Yeah, people at the door, bro. I was like, oh,
We're doing that again. We're doing that again. There's plenty of like $10, $20 books hidden in there. I just set aside an Uncanny 221 first Mr. Sinister. Got one of those set aside for the dollar bin. A couple of Spawns. Spawn #1, #9. First appearance of Bishop. All sorts of fun stuff. You know, just like, again, trying to keep it exciting for folks, trying to get everybody jazzed up. Like, it's Black Friday. It's the first day of Comic-Con special edition. And then next week is the 3rd anniversary for the shop. Like, December 8th is our 3rd anniversary. So trying to do some fun stuff, you know, trying to keep everybody excited. Like, it's Comic-Con, man. Like, trying to get in the spirit.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm stoked, bro. Me and Golly picked up our badges today. I'm super stoked, bro. Like, I got the Comic-Con spirit back, and it's actually,
right.
You know, I think me and Golly talked about it like on our last show. Like, it's Christmas in July when I think we said San Diego Comic-Con is even better than Christmas in San Diego.
Absolutely.
But we actually got Comic-Con like close to Christmas this time.
Around holidays,
yeah, bro. I'm stoked, man. But Golly, man, where can they find you, bro?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Golly Comics, or you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Golly Comics. I yet to have a video yet, but I will surely soon have one video up, maybe in the next following week.
All right, man. But hey, before we go through the spectacular post for Cover Swipe Saturday, Cover Swipe Sunday, man, you have a couple questions for Aaron, bro?
Yes, I do have some questions for Aaron. So, Aaron, the first question is, are you going to be attending? I know you have a shop, but are you going to be attending this con?
Yeah, I'll probably swing by. Nice. I don't ever set up at the show. The cheapest booth, cheapest and smallest booth costs more than my rent for the month. Since I am right down the street from the convention center, I figure folks can just drift by and hang out here at the shop. But I definitely want to swing by. Like, I'm always on the hunt for stuff for myself. A bunch of customers will usually come in and ask, like, hey man, I don't have a pass, but could you grab this exclusive toy for me? Could you grab one of these posters for my kid? So I usually try to run over, put in like an hour or two in the morning before the shop opens, see if I can find some exclusives and stuff. And maybe if I'm lucky, find something for myself.
Yeah, gotcha. So if you do find something for yourself, like, what would that ideal comic book what would it be? What would that toy be?
The
toy and comic book.
The ideals for myself now, like I'm down to the nitty gritty for Marvel Silver Age stuff. I need amazing Spideys like under 15. I need Fantastic Fours like under 20. I need a Silver Surfer 4. A Surfer 4 is probably like the biggest book I'm looking for myself. Like right condition, right price.
And before, it wasn't the biggest book back then, and now it is, and the price has at least tripled since.
It's unbelievable. Like I had probably like a VG minus raw copy that I sold maybe like 15 years ago, and I think I sold it for $50. And the guy that owned the shop that I used to work at in Boston, he had like a gorgeous, like a VF plus near mint minus copy that he was selling, and he wanted $250 for it. And I was like, I'll find a cheaper copy later. Not a big deal. And now, like, you can't sniff a raw VG for under $1,000. Like, it's bananas. So I
could have picked one up prior to COVID for $300, man. And I was like, it's VG. I'm gonna try and get a better grade. Oh my God! Like, boom. You know? Yeah,
that's probably the biggest one I'm looking for myself. I've been hunting for Green Lantern Green Arrow 85. The drug issue. My ward is a junkie. Like, I've been looking for a nice copy of that for the right price for ages. I love that cover.
Okay. I might have one for you, man, but it's not in nice condition, man. I got to tell you,
I mean, low grade's better than no grade, right?
Yep,
Yes. So my other question is, besides having no limits on Wednesday drops or not increasing prices on Wednesday
Never.
drops, because you're probably like the only shop pretty much in San Diego that doesn't even do that stuff.
Yep.
So
only shop in San Diego.
yeah, I applaud you for that, and I tell everyone about your shop. But besides that, my other question is, how did your shop transition when it went from regular to COVID, and how did you keep the store afloat, because you were kind of pretty semi new to the comic book industry?
Yeah, I'm incredibly thankful that I had as much time before COVID as I did. We had been open for about a year and a half before the lockdown. But I mean, we had over 100 subscribers by that point. And so having regulars that were willing to support the shop, folks like you guys that knew about the shop and wanted to support, like that made a huge difference. If we had opened up a year later, if we had only been open for 2-3 months before COVID, that could have been a kiss of death. So I'm incredibly thankful that we had the year and a half runway beforehand. But I'm pretty flexible too. Like I'm really good at rolling with the punches. So as soon as the lockdown hit, Marvel and DC announced they weren't going to be doing any new books for 2 months. Said, okay, cool. We're not going to be getting any new product. What can I do with the stuff that I had? So ended up selling back issues like gangbusters, ended up doing way more eBay stuff. Like I doubled down on eBay sales and doing more sales direct on Instagram and social media. That made a huge difference, because even though the shop wasn't bringing in anywhere near as much as it used to, because we weren't getting any foot traffic, eBay sales were up something like 1,000% because I spent 40 hours in the shop just posting on eBay constantly, like full runs, mini series, key books, first appearances, like anything I could to, get stuff out of the shop and bring some income in. So, I mean, for the most part, on paper, we didn't miss a beat. Like the sales in the register were way down, but sales on eBay and online were way up. So we were kind of able to normalize a little bit.
Gotcha.
And then as soon as we were able to start doing curbside pickup and mail order, there were a lot of customers again that were really good about supporting the shop, and they said, "Hey, we can't come in, but I'm looking for these 10 trades. Can you grab these for me while I'm stuck in lockdown? I want to do some reading." And so I was able to order stuff for customers, get that mailed out to them. We did a few little like door-to-door hand deliveries. It felt for a while like the nerdiest drug deal possible. Like people would knock on the door, and I'd just like open the door a little bit and slide their brown bag of comics out, and they'd just run away. Like it felt like kind of suspect, like leaving bags on people's doors and running away. But folks were really good about supporting the shop. Like it's definitely a community thing. That made a huge difference.
I was one of them, man. I remember I got those God of Thunder trades from you.
Oh yeah.
Stood them out, and I took them out. And said, all right, I'll see you later with our mask on and stuff, bro.
Yeah.
We had Aaron had his gloves on too. I was like, okay, we
early days, gloved and everything. Yeah,
gloved and everything, dude.
So I got 2 more questions for you. 2 more, just real quick. Now, there was a time and moment where you had you're like the only guy really that had double covers. And you told me that there was a collection that came in, and this guy just collected double covers.
What?
Do you regret selling your 361 double cover at that time and moment, or no, not at all?
Not really. I've always tried to live by it's better to regret something you have done than to regret something you haven't done.
Okay.
I had the book. It was cool. The story for that particular book, you'll like this one. That book I got for free. A friend in New Hampshire, he ended up sending me maybe like a long box worth of books. Like I'm from Boston originally, so I've got folks all across the East Coast that still send me stuff. Friends in New Hampshire, friends in Maine. Nice. People are looking out for the shop and trying to send stuff. So I get packages from all around the country, for folks that want to help out friends and family and stuff. So there's always stuff coming in from weird places. And so my friend Bernie in New Hampshire, he ended up grabbing a bunch of books from a buddy of his. His dad collected tons of comics in the 90s. And he's like, I'm out. I don't want anything anymore. Take whatever you want. And so Bernie grabbed like 50 books from this guy. He's like, I don't know, like Spider-Man's cool. I'll grab some Spider-Man stuff. But then he's looking through everything and he's like, I don't really need any of these. Like, I'll send them to Aaron. If Aaron can kick me a little bit of money, that'll be great. So he sent me all the books, and there were 2 copies of Amazing 361 in there. Both of them were pretty cherry, like definitely like solid near mints, like 9.2s at least.
I remember those.
I cracked one of them open and went through, and I was like, this one's a double cover. Like, so like doesn't happen that often, but it's always a nice surprise when it does pop up. So I texted Bernie and I was like, Bern, did you know this was a double cover? And he's like, I never even opened any of these books. I didn't even see any of them. I didn't care about it at all. And I was like, all right, Bernie, how about this? You got this book for free. You gave it to me for free. I'll put this on eBay and I'll split it with you 50-50.
There you go, man.
Like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care, man. That's fine. And so it ended up, I think it sold for like 600 something at the time.
600-ish. I was watching that very hard.
And I was like, I was stoked because it was a book that I got for free from a buddy. I was stoked that I was able to help him out. You know, I'm not a big fan of like holding stuff. Like I'd rather sell it for 600 today than sit on it for 5 years and maybe it's worth 1,000, maybe it's worth 2,000. You never know how that stuff's going to go, and it could be worth $100 the next time. You know, the movie could have come out and it could have tanked and nobody cared about Venom 2, and then Carnage could have been in the crapper, and then where would I be? So I'm glad that I was able to help my friend.
Hey man, it kind of was. So I think you got a good deal for it, bro. It kind of was, right? It kind of was.
It's all gravy to me.
I could say that.
Bernie got it for nothing. I got it for nothing. We sold it for 600. Everybody's happy.
Yeah. So my last and final question for you, Aaron. What's the future going to be like for Now or Never Comics? Is there anything or any plans for your shop?
Well, we just signed a lease for another 5 years. We just extended it.
Nice.
So, not planning on going anywhere. Figure, you know, we made it through COVID. If we made it through that, you know, we can make it through anything. I've been working in comic shops since 1997. So like I've seen all sorts of ups and downs and never seen anything like the last 2 years. So
probably the worst of the worst.
If we made it through that, I'm feeling pretty good about the future. People joke about expanding all the time. Like that always makes me break out in hives. Like I'm not ready for a second shop just yet. I'm not ready to knock down the wall and like, okay, 2,500 square feet, 5,000 square feet. I'm not ready for that yet. I like the size of the shop. This feels real manageable. We finally got a solid crew. Like we got, Zach, another full timer, and Jamie and Frankie part timers helping out in the shop.
Nice,
really
nice
awesome.
people.
Those guys are dope, man. Your crew is dope,
Zach is
bro.
dope.
Your crew's dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
Crew. I'm really, really thankful. So, the biggest change in the shop, I want to do more events. I want to be able to get more folks in the shop. I want to be able to do, more community focused stuff. I've talked with Alex before about doing trade days. The shop that I used to work at in Boston, they would about once a quarter, maybe like every 3 months or so, they would just set up in the back of the shop and they'd say, anybody wants to bring in books to trade, bring in whatever you want. Trade with each other, other customers, trade with the shop, whatever. You want to bring in one book, that's fine. You want to bring a long box, whatever you want, man. No charge. Everybody just hangs out, and sometimes it's people just showing off. Sometimes it's people making trades. Sometimes it's new books, it's old books. But like stuff like that rules. That's an awesome chance to get to interact with the community and see what folks are interested in, see what other people collect. I live for that stuff. So that's been one of the biggest downers of COVID, not being able to have folks in the shop.
Yeah. Well, now we're kind of getting over this hump. It seems like you have a good, bright future for the shop and some great ideas coming along the way. That is
the plan, yeah. And as long as you guys keep supporting, we'll still be here.
Oh yeah, best believe. I'm gonna order my books with you.
Bro, we're always gonna support you, Aaron, man. That's why you on, man, because you are San Diego comic family, man. So
San Diego's finest.
Man, San Diego's finest, man. So we appreciate you coming, man. And we're doing the cover swipe Saturday and cover swipe Sunday, man. We got a lot of cats in the community, man, that really like this one, man. We got a lot of I got tagged a lot, so we have a lot more posts than we usually do. But godly, man, and we did this for 2 weeks, from 11/13/21 to 11/27. which is we're actually going to air this on the 25th. So yeah, we're not going to get the 27th because we want to try and get this out before San Diego Comic-Con special edition. But Godly, what you got, bro? What's your first pick, man?
First pick, and I thought it was really cool. It's by Make Mine Moon Knight, and he chose these special variants of Moon Knight, and I really liked it. And all the Moon Knight craze and how Moon Knight went up in price. So he posted, this would have to be the most literal example of a cover swipe, pretty much literal, and it definitely looks like it too. While the issue of the UK mag, aka magazine, Savage Action, uses the cover to MP21, the interior story featuring MK is actually one from his Hulk magazine's backup stories issue 12, I think. I chose this cover because everyone's so into Moon Knight. Even though people can't afford, say, the Moon Knight book in particular, like the first appearance, a lot of people are going for covers or cover swipes or anything that's related to Moon Knight, because a lot of people do believe Moon Knight could take a big hit, as in going up in price. So, it's definitely nice to see a lot of people, pretty much having high energy for this character, and having new fans for this character. And it's a nice book. It's a nice, cool looking book that I would like to have on my wall. So what do you think about this, Ian?
It's a Bill where the swipe came from is a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, and I'm a big Bill Sienkiewicz fan. I don't know who is the artist for the other one, but man, they did a great job of swiping it big. They literally swiped the whole thing for Savage Action. And this is from I think from the UK's. Am I right, Aaron? The swipe.
Yeah. Savage Action was a UK reprint magazine. So they'd usually take original covers from the US, but then they'd recolor them. So it may not even be like an actual re-illustration of it. It may just be the exact same cover, but like a crappy scan, and maybe someone recolored it.
Yeah, and they straight put the logo right on the good part of Moon Knight.
Yep.
So it's like, yo, man, yeah, it's so. I mean, I dig it. It's a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, man. I love Bill Sienkiewicz. I hope I get to meet him, again over at Comic-Con, special, because he is supposed to show up for one of the panels, man. But I don't know if he's signing. Me and Golly have been trying to look at that, but hopefully he has a booth and he's signing somewhere, or maybe we can just bump into him and get a quick autograph, right? Like, that would be kind of cool, man. But let's check the price on this one, man. The prices for these are for the original, it's about $30 to $50. I couldn't find the price on the Savage Action. There wasn't anything listed, I mean, does it make that rare? I don't know. What do you think, Aaron? Does that make it rare?
They're oddball ones. Like the few Savage Actions that I've seen, like they're maybe in like the $8-10 range. They're usually really poor quality. Like they used lousy paper for the reprints. And then again, because they're not original stories, like the Marvel preview, it's the first time that story appeared, first time that cover was used. So that's the bigger of the two. The Savage Action, because they're reprints, usually much more affordable, but they're not anywhere near as common. Like the print runs were pretty low, and then they don't come overseas that often.
Oh, okay. So if you see this in a bin, it's probably you want to grab it, So
yeah.
But I like Mike Make Mine Moon Knight. I follow him over on Instagram as well. He has really good stuff, man. It's all Moon Knight too. Like if you want Moon Knight books, like follow this guy. This guy has like straight like fire Moon Knight books. But my next pick is by my boy PJ Morris 772. And he has this own, this Todd McFarlane iconic homage of, the Hulk within the blades of Wolverine. And my boy Pete and my boy Paul says this is for Hoodrat for Cover Swipe Sunday, Incredible Hulk number 340, with Black Panther number 166 second print, an all-time classic cover by Todd McFarlane, homage by Wes Craig. I prefer the second print non-lenticular covers on these books. Some are pretty tough to find. Yeah, so the lenticular covers, there's a lot of lenticular covers of this one. So if you kind of just move it, it goes from the McFarlane over to the Craig cover. But these ones that aren't lenticular are hard to find. I mean, I found one. I didn't even know it was one. I think it was with the the Moon Girl one. I think it's number 25. And I found a non-ticular one. So I mean, people say those ones are hard to find. So if you're able to find this one, like, hey man, you got a good book. But what you think about this, Gotti? What you think about this cover, man? I know you're a McFarlane fan.
Yeah, I am a fan. I definitely love his work. Every time I go to cons and I hang out with certain people at their booths, there are definitely people trying to eye down this book, and then they try to negotiate what's the best price I can get for this book and kind of shop around. So there's always people in the market looking for this particular book in hopes of possibly getting it signed, and there's those people that don't like signings as much and like to keep it raw or getting it graded and hoping getting that 9.8. So it's a really cool cover. What do you think about this, Aaron?
I have a really weird history with the McFarlane cover.
Tell us.
The first comic shop that I worked at, the owner was like a real dirtbag, like classic Simpsons comic shop guy.
Comic book guy.
And he was proud of the fact that he did not read comics anymore. And he still loved the Hulk though. So he said that he would only read the Hulk like if he went to the bathroom or something. But he said this was his favorite comic of all time. He said, loved the McFarlane stuff, loved Hulk. So it was a perfect fit for him. And I worked with him for like 3 years. And I remember after a few years, we got one of these in a collection, and he was like, I'm just noticing for the first time that the Hulk is reflected in Wolverine's claws. I never noticed that before. You own your own store. You say that this is your favorite book. Come on, man. Come on. So every time I've seen that now, like for the last 20 years, every time I see it, I think of him.
Oh man,
his image flashes in your mind even before you go to sleep.
His image,
nice.
Bro, his image flashes in your mind while he's reading this on the toilet. There you go, bro. Oh my god, man. Now my mind's flashing. I can see the comic guy from the Simpsons.
That's a gift. That's a gift to you guys. You can have that memory now too.
Oh, wow. Bro, I think I'm gonna have to sell mine off, bro. No. All right, man. See, check the price on this on the Black Panther one. So you can get this book for between $10. You about a $10 book. $10 book. I'd say about a $10 book. But this is one that you would if you're looking through the bins, man. If you find it, you're like, oh, okay, I picked one. I don't know if I'll pay the $10, but if I'll hunt for it. I'll hunt for it in the $1 bins or $2 bins or the $5 bins or whatever, man. But it's a good one to hunt for. But PJ, man, I think PJ Morris, he's like on the hashtag Hall of Fame. Like I think every show we have a book from Paul, man, because Paul's always participating in the show, always tagging me and always tagging the hashtag show. We appreciate you, bro, man. And I appreciate your Instagram, bro, because you just be bringing the damn heat, bro, all the time. You got that. Oh, Aaron, if you ever seen Paul's Instagram, bro, he brings nothing but that Silver Age, bro, that you're looking for. All perfect. The time, bro. Silver Age, everything. Unslabbed. He don't slab anything. He just going through everything.
That's exactly my speed.
And he goes on Instagram with Morbius, and they just crack slabs the whole time, bro. Like just cracking slabs. Like, you're crazy, man. You're crazy, man.
I love
you guys are crazy people. But they think I'm crazy for slabbing, so y'all crazy for cracking slabs, man. But and then you got this, Aaron, right?
I do, yeah. Classic John Buscema, Avengers 57, first appearance of the Vision, and then the West Coast Avengers with the first White Vision. I think this is maybe the first cover swipe that I ever recognized, because I always loved the old covers. Like I remember finding Gerber would do these big hardcover collections reprinting old Marvel comics, and so I used to scan through those and try to memorize as many old covers as I could, and then I remember seeing the West Coast Avengers when that popped up, or probably in the back issue bins right after it came out. It was just a little bit before my time, but I remember seeing that and I was like, this looks familiar. I know that this is something I've seen before. And it took me a while to track it down because, I mean, in the before times, pre-internet, trying to remember where you had seen a cover before was a lot harder. So had to dig through the bins and found the Avengers 57, and I was like, like it clicked in my brain. Like this is the same cover. This is so cool. I thought that was such an awesome way to reintroduce the Vision with a new look, new personality. I've always loved that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, man. You know. The thing about the West Coast Avengers 45, you know how many times I passed it up in collections as I was going by, and then all of a sudden it blew up. It became $100 book. I'm like, dude, like, you know how many times I like saw it? I was like you, Aaron. I was like, oh, that's so cool, man. That's like the Avengers 57. It's the same, you know, like, and I'm always like kind of like this about like getting homages, right, and cover swipes. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's cool. I want it, but I gotta look for see if there's another key in here to spend money on. I think I passed this thing up like 20 times, man, in like collections, and I regret it. And now I'm just like, you know, slowly kind of buying these on the dip too, you know. What do you think, Godly, man? What do you think about the cover swipe?
Yeah, like you said, this book was a very cheap book, and then
yeah, bro,
all of a sudden, you know, you hear it on Comic Tom's stream on YouTube, and boom, this book goes up in value, and everyone's predicting WandaVision, and then and then we have West Coast Avengers. We got the white Vision, and then in WandaVision, if you haven't seen it, Vision becomes kind of discolored later on, and it kind of resembles that cover as we see it right now. So yeah, I never got into it. I never bought it, just because I like you, I like to buy on the dip or before it explodes, not when it's exploding, and then, like, you know, buy it later when it settles down. But kind of going back, I wish I never sold my SS4, because now I have to look for one just like Aaron. So yeah.
Yo, man, I mean, this book really hit me on the side of the head, bro. When I, you know, during WandaVision, when it kind of rode up to him and he was in that tube, I said, "Oh my God, bro!" Like when I saw his feet, I already knew who it was. I was like, "Damn, man, for reals, bro." And then if you guys haven't even read like you know, like Young Avengers, there's another Vision, you know, like, so there's like 3 different Visions you got to go for, man. So like, I'm just saying, man, like you never know, like, you know, this white Vision may become like the Vision in Young Avengers, because that's kind of where they're going. So like I hope I don't, you know, who knows where the story's gonna go. Marvel just kind of does whatever they want, right? Like but I mean, if it's progressing that way, man, we're gonna get that Young Avengers Vision, you know, like, and he's pretty cool, man. I like that Young Avengers, and he has a lot to do with Kang too, because when Kang comes in the picture, he can kind of control him, you know, because that's like that armor that what's his name, Iron Lad, right? Was it Iron Lad? Iron Lad's armor he wore. And then whenever older Kang comes, he can kind of control that armor, which he can control Vision. But that's just me, man. I'm just kind of like drifting off in space here, because you know, there's a lot going on with Vision. You guys should like keep an eye out for that. But you know, I'm not the expert, man, on Vision, but let's check what the prices are. All right, guys. So it looks like you know, the West Coast Avengers 45 went down, man. Like this was $100. This was like clear a $100 book. Aaron, how much were these books going for in your shop, man, when he popped off, bro? Like,
I think at its peak, I think it was around 100, which was more than I sold my run of West Coast Avengers
right?
Like 10 years ago. I think I had full run issues 1 through 102, and I think I sold the full run for like $75. And now one issue is almost worth more than the full run was.
But you know, man, I mean, West Coast Avengers, I used to just skip it, you know, when I was like, when I go through back bins. Now you're looking for issues.
Pick them up. If they're $1, I'll pick them up.
That's what the MCU has done to us. Now we're looking through West Coast Adventure books, bro.
I mean, there's great stuff in there, like some awesome John Byrne stuff. Like for a while, the West Coast Avengers was more interesting than the mainstream Avengers title. Like it was an awesome team. Like Moon Knight was on for a good long time. Like that was awesome. There's some fun stuff in there.
Yeah, definitely, man. But yeah, it looks like it's a good time to pick this up, because he's coming back. You know, he didn't go away. He flew away to you know, get to know himself a little bit more. You know, he needs to go. You know, he needs to go soar his royal oats before he comes back to the MCU. So he's coming back, man. And like I said, man, he might be coming. You know, like Iron Lad is. You know, if we have that West Coast Avengers, Iron Lad's gonna happen, and then that suit becomes, you know, the third Avenger, man, third Young Avenger, third Vision, I mean. So, what you got, Gali? Oh, your favorite book of all time, bro.
Yeah, I had, before I start, I had 3 of them. I sold all 3, and I think my highest grade was 8.0, and I did like a sale / trade. I, I sold them in hopes of getting a signed copy before this blew up. It was going up, but it wasn't blowing up yet, and I knew this cover would go up. And I was spending my money as much as I could to get these covers, and it was getting harder and harder. So I definitely want to get a signed copy in the near future. Hopefully, like a 2nd gen label, 9.0. That would be kind of nice.
For Stan Lee signed? Was that what you were on the hunt for?
Yeah, I was. I actually offered somebody for their 9.2 Gen 2 label. I offered him $3,500, and at that time, that was a really good offer. It was kind of because I know one sold for around that price, so I kind of offered him the same amount, and he wasn't selling it or anything. But I said, hey, if you change your mind, my offer's here. But I mean, now that the offer is long on because that book is a little bit more expensive now. So, anyways, we got here by my bullshit comics. He says Silver Surfer cover swipe edition, John Buscema. And yeah, it's one of the more favorite sought out covers. Actually, too, when I on my Instagram, I took a picture with a magnifying glass, and I was actually reading this on my bed, laying down with a flashlight. And I love the story, man. Oh my gosh, how Loki uses his powers to amplify Silver Surfer so he can battle Thor, and then later on, Silver Surfer talking to himself, saying, "Is this hammer faster than my board, or is it stronger than my board?" And I just love the story on this, and I'm surprised. I don't know if a lot of people have read it, but I have read it, and it's amazing. And I really want this book back signed. So yeah, it's definitely a cool cover swipe. He has here Mighty Thor issue 437, and I think he is battling Adam. I'm not too sure, but Quaid. Oh, Quaid. Okay, we got Quaid. So then, but yeah, I really like this cover, and I thought it should be on here. So thank you for sharing my bullshit comics.
Man, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for any homage or swipe, man. If I see the homage or swipe of this cover, like, I'm buying it. I don't care, bro. Like, I'm a big collector of this cover, of this book, of the Silver Surfer book, because I don't have it, man. I really want it, man. I just really want it. I let one go for $300, man. It was with Uncle Al. You guys all know Uncle Al, man. Like, he had it at his shop. It was about a 6.0, 7.0. I asked it for him for $200, and he wanted $300, and he was like, but this is such a. You think you're gonna get a book in such a good condition for that cheap? I was like, Al, bro, I love you, man. So I'm just gonna leave it there. And then, during COVID, he said it sold for triple what I asked, bro, or what he asked. It's just a very, wanted comic. It's a very iconic cover. It's everything that you want in a comic book, man. And Aaron, you want to talk more about it, bro? Because I know you love it too.
Oh God, it's. I mean, one of the biggest non-keys. Like, it's an iconic cover, but it's not the first appearance of anything. It's not really like, I mean, it's the first Thor and Silver Surfer, but it's not like a huge key for any reason other than the fact that it's a baller cover. Like, it's so good. Like, I mean, cover to cover, like Alex said, like every page of the book is cover worthy. Like the first page where it's Loki sitting on the throne is an absolute stunner. I think it's gotten a lot of heat lately. A lot of what I see for collectors is people moving on to the next best thing. People can't afford an FF48 with a first Surfer, but maybe they can grab a Silver Surfer #1. And then Surfer #1 goes up in price, or Surfer 3 with the first Mephisto goes up in price. So they start moving to the next best thing. What can I get? What can I get? And then they start looking at iconic covers. This is high up there on that list, or like Tales to Astonish 93 with Surfer and the Hulk hanging onto the back of the board.
Yeah.
People start looking at books like that, and then those prices start rising too, because people can't chase, the first appearances or the first issues forever. At a certain point, people are just going to get priced out of it. And so then you see these kind of like, second tier books, I guess, kind of pick up steam. So I mean, this for years was nowhere near what it's at now. I can't be mad about it. Like there's plenty of stuff where like a movie gets announced and I'm like, this, when what was it? Hydro Man was for Spidey, and then the first Hydro Man went up to be like a $50, $60 book. I was like, this is dumb. Like this should be a $3 book at most. And I got heated about it. I can't be mad about this book selling for $500 in good. I can't be mad about this book selling for $1,000 in VG. Like it's a god tier book. It's one of the best covers of all time. It's so good.
Yeah, man. As an ex-graphic designer, man, and I'm a very OCD person about balance. Yeah, Buscema gets it, man. This is such a balanced cover. Like even if Silver Surfer is up there, there's such kind of an angle of linear going on with it. And the and just the logo, like he overshadows the logo, which I love. He's not behind it, like there's just so much balance going. Buscema always has a lot of balance to his covers that I really enjoy, because if I see a cover that's unbalanced, I just kind of have to tilt with it to make it. Are you guys like that too? Like there's something going on with that cover. You know what I'm saying?
Not that OCD, but I know what you mean.
I know, man. I just like that because even when I do my thumbnails, I'm like, it has to be balanced. If it's not there, it just bugs me all day, man. But let's check the prices on what's going on with the cover swipe. So you get the cover swipe for a cover, like you probably $1 bin. So if you are into Silver Surfer 4, homages, or swipes, man, like collect them all. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to collect them all. I don't have this the swipe for this, but I'm looking forward to finding the $1 bin. Hopefully at Aaron's $1 bin this weekend, man. So.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like they're within arm's reach. I'm tempted to dig into the bins and see if we got a 437 in there.
All right, man. So my next one the next one is by my boy, man, Breaking Bones 367, man. What's going on, man? I really appreciate this guy. He's a San Diego native, and he probably shops at your shop too, Aaron. So much props to the family out here in San Diego. But we have here, this is a cover swipe of X-Men 109. So X-Men 109 was done by Chris Claremont and Dave Cochran. This Alpha Flight is actually done by John Byrne and Chris Claremont. So we got Chris was just like, yo, man, the story might make a little, let's do a swipe. Let's do a swipe together, man. So they hooked it up. So 109 is actually the first appearance of the weapon of Alpha, who later becomes Vindicator in 120. It's John. This is some, John Byrne goodness, the Alpha Flight, man. I mean, I think that's in itself, man, with John Byrne and Chris Claremont on a comic book. Like, this is a book that I kind of want to get it. It's not a key. It's not a key at all. It's just a dope cover by like two iconic, comic artists and a comic writer, man. So, and Breaking has the newsstand going here, man. Like, so he's breaking all that. I got this at a 7-Eleven probably. So. Breaking goes on. He was tagged by Hoodrat Comics for the hashtag show. Next featured hashtag cover swipe Saturday, cover swipe Sunday. For your viewing pleasure, Alpha Flight 717 cover by Byrne, swipe from X-Men 109 by Cochran. Love the mutants, man. So Aaron, what do you think about this, bro? Like, pretty dope, yeah?
I absolutely love it. Byrne was maybe my first favorite comic artist. I poured through quarter bins, 50-cent bins, piecing together his Fantastic Four run. Alpha Flight, always dug that. And this is one of those rare instances where I think I actually like the swipe more than the original. And it's almost entirely because of Wolverine. Cochran is amazing, and like cannot overstate his importance to the history of the X-Men. But I do not love the way Wolverine is positioned, like his head is tilted so far back. I love the Byrne version just a hair more.
I just like the way his head is kind of like, like he really got his ass whipped right there. Like, bam, knockout punch. How about you, Gali?
Aaron was stealing the words out of my mouth, but I'm gonna add a little bit more to that, to the cake. On the Alpha Flight cover, you notice that Wolverine's muscularity or his muscles are more defined compared to the X-Men cover. the X-Men cover, it's more, he looks more leaner. You can't really see the definition of his muscles. And when you think Wolverine, you think claws, you know, the suit, and then you also think of his muscularity. And so for me, muscularity is very important for this type of character. So I definitely have to go with the Alpha Flight cover.
Definitely,
for sure.
the hand right there actually does it for me, man. Like he's just kind of reaching for his friends. Like help me. Like Wolverine don't ask for no help, but you know he's kind of like you know. So, but let's check the prices on these guys. So let me see here. So the price on these. So for 9.8, you actually get it for $84, man. That's not bad. You know, it's not bad for a dope cover with Wolverine on it, man. And you know, and then yeah, so $84 for a 9.8 for this. You know, that's
nice.
what I found. So you know, like I think you know this book probably goes between $5 and $10. What do you think, Aaron? $5 to $10?
Yeah. I mean, depending on condition, it's maybe the kind of thing I'd toss in a dollar bin.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably high end $5 for me.
Hey man, John Byrne goodness, man. Burn baby burn, man. That's another good hashtag. Burn baby burn. So the next one is by my buddy Ski Rat Comics, man. He's my homie over on Instagram. We've been homies since the beginning. You know, so us rats gotta stick together. And he came and he tagged me on this one. He says, I've been busy, I have a busy day tomorrow, so I'm a bit early. He put this on Friday. Hey, you can put it any day you want. As long as you have that hashtag, I'll find you, man. And you tag me, it makes it super easy. So everyone knows and loves this throwback swipe, a Steranko classic. Yep, it is, man. There's the cover swipe to the Hulk. I love Herc in this splash. I need a keg of beer. Hey, bro, my boy Ratman, my boy Ski Ratman. One of these we're gonna grab some IPA together for sure, man. But there you go, man. There's a Steranko classic, man. A Steranko classic that we all love. And there's some more history to this cover than we see, because I think he did a couple different faces, right, Aaron? Was it a couple different faces to this before it got actually like approved by Marvel? Was that right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So I think Marvel like kind of X'd, you know, the first face that he had put the Hulk in, and then he had to add this one. But you guys can actually find that out. I think there's actually a print of it too on a cover.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's actually a print of this cover too. So yeah, man, this is a dope. Go. What's up, Golly?
I think there's at the last con before COVID, I was picking up this Silver Surfer 4s, but somebody else, when I was picking up those SS4s, also mentioned this book, and I think he was showing some of his foreign ones that he got, and they're
it's a foreign one.
They're very rare to find and hard.
It's actually an Italian foreign. That's what it's just. I found it in my catalog of my brain right now. It's an Italian foreign. It's an Italian. It's a foreign Italian book with a different. There's a different face on Hulk that he wanted that Marvel X owed on him. So look for that Italian version, guys. That Italian version. But let's check the prices because I want to get to my fellas over here. So you can buy this. You get this cover swipe for $3.95. So I mean, if you love that Hulk annual, like, and you're a collector of these, I like the Spawn one. That's my other favorite one of a cover swipe from this one is a Spawn one. You know, go and find them. You know. So, but next up we got Aaron, bro. What you got here, Aaron? This is an interesting one, man. I was like, Aaron, what you got on this, bro?
I am a sucker for the Justice League, like this era of Justice League, the Giffen and DeMatteis League. I love that it's all bums, like it's Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Fire and Ice. And Guy Gardner was one of the best / worst characters on the team, always causing trouble, always feuding with Batman. And I loved that they were able to do a callback, like the Justice League on the left came out first. And it was when Guy was feuding with Batman and they were about to have a fight. And the rest of the league, you know, trying to hold him back. And then about a year later in Justice League Europe, they did the throwback where they kicked Guy off the American League. And so he was part of Justice League Europe and he was fighting with Metamorpho. So I loved the callback of him getting ready to fight and then him after getting his clock cleaned. I thought that it was such a cool way to kind of like tie the two books together because Justice League and Justice League Europe were both running parallel at the same times. So you get storylines that crossed over to both and that share characters between both titles. So
oh, wow, I didn't know that.
I thought that this was a really cool way to do the swipe in a way that kind of like bridged those two books together.
Which one do you like more?
I like
the run.
Justice League slash Justice League America slash Justice League International. They changed the name way too many times.
Yeah.
That's the main run, issue 1 through 60 of that, the entire Giffen and DeMatteis run. One of my absolute favorite runs of all time. Like, it's a laugh out loud, funny comic book. I love Kevin Maguire doing the art. And Giffen and DeMatteis are such sharp writers. As far as these covers go, I like the Justice League Europe cover better because Kevin Maguire did the art for it. Maguire is one of my favorites for facial expressions. Like, everything is like so expressive. I love Guy's face totally glazed. I love Buddy Animal Man, like the teeth clenched. He's one of my favorite artists. So as far as the two covers go, I'll take the JLE cover.
Man, what guy looks like, man? He looks like us
after
we eat that turkey dinner while watching some football. We're gonna be falling asleep like
food coma.
That's the guy coma, man. That's gonna be Godly coma and Aaron coma right there, man. But let's check the prices on this one, guys. And Aaron Buff, man. I am buff. Check out his Instagram, man. Like, I mean, I didn't even see that, Aaron. I saw the cover stuff, but I didn't see like connecting the stories together like that on the cover. Like, that's dope, man. Yeah, Buff knows his stuff, bro. So does Aaron, man. If you ever want some knowledge, bro, go to Aaron, because that's what we do when me and Alex go there. We just chop shop for an hour. Oh, yeah. We'll buy our books and then we'll just sit there for another hour, just chop and shop with Aaron.
Consume this information of knowledge.
Yeah, right. That's the fun stuff, man. That's what a good comic shop is, where you can just cut it up, man. But the prices on these are about, it's about a cover price book, man. So if you want to connect it with the other book, man, so you can buy this for cover price. But Godly, man, one of your favorites, bro. I know you, bro. Go ahead, man.
Yes, this is one of my favorites, Mr. Kill Joke. This is a cover swipe of Amazing Spider-Man 50. And
another Mr. Kill,
Mr. Kill Joke, Bartman issue 4 homage of Amazing Spider-Man issue 50. I'm glad to finally add this to the PC. I'm also looking for Radioactive Man issues 1 through 6 if anyone has it. This cover, and he mentioned Radioactive one. This one is kind of hard to get in a high grade, just because it's easily foreseeable of those color breaks. I'm a Simpsons and a Bartman collector, and sometimes it's really hard to get those high grades, especially on this one and Radioactive one. So you want to show the cover swipe, Ian?
Bam.
Yup, and we already got the first appearance on this one too, guys. So and it's crazy too, like, not just Amazing Spider-Man that has gone up in price, but some of the Simpsons and Bartman and Radioactive one books have gone up in price, especially those 9/8. So just keep an eye out. If you guys do see a high grade, it's probably worth getting signed or just getting that 9/8 graded. What do you guys think about the cover swipe on this?
Oh man, I'm just looking at number 50, and that's another COVID book I could have got for $300, and I'm just like, oh my god. At least I got 51. At least I got 51 prior, man. So yeah, but I'm a big 50 homage guy too. I like the Miles Morales one in Spider-Man, and then what else? We have another one in Moon Girl. There's another cover swipe on there. And then there's another cover swipe in the Miss Marvel. I just cover swipes forever for 50, man.
Yeah.
But I think 51 is the book you need to get for the Kingpin, because that's Kingpin's first cover, and I love it and I have it. So, but Aaron, what do you think, bro?
The ASM 50 is one of my absolute favorite covers, and I love that there's so many swipes from the last page of it too, like just the costumes to the trash barrel. That's so cool seeing like an interior page swiped.
Yeah.
You get covers all the time, but there's not so many individual pages that are so iconic that you could make an homage to that someone would recognize. But
that's where I think I got mine. There was a Miss Marvel one, and there's that Miles Morales one from Spider-Man. Like the dumpster of them throwing away their costume because they're like, screw it, man. Yeah. But you're right, man. Look at Aaron, bro, breaking it down. The last page cover story, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's a trip, though, right? Like, the interior is so good that they cover swipe the interior. That's how you know that thing's
Right.
dope, dude. Right?
Yeah, sometimes you kind of wish that they had a statue for that specific like pose or position that they're in.
Yeah.
You know, because you like sometimes the interior more than the covers itself.
Yeah, man. But let's check the prices on these, man. So for this Bartman, you could get it for about 5 to 10 bucks.
Very cheap.
5 to 10 in this Bartman, man. But if you want to grade it, like Godly said, man, like yeah, you gotta. These red covers are difficult, man. But then I got this from my boy KK Loans, man, and you know he is he is on the Hall of Fame for you know, for the hashtag show too, because he's been on here on a little bit, because you know, like, he tags us and he's easy to find. So my boy KK said cover swipe Sunday for Hoodrat Comics on his hashtag show with Godly Comics. What if Peter Parker became the Punisher? Mike Zeck did the original iconic cover for the Punisher limited series back in 1985. This one here was done by Chris Stevens, and there you go, man. There's that Zeck classic, bro.
First solo series.
Classic. I love both of them. I don't even know. I don't, man. I kind of like the I kind of like the cover swipe. You know, like, you know, I love Zeck, but the cover swipe is dope, man. It's like Spider-Man with the Punisher on his suit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and blasting, and you know, like, Peter Parker ain't never picking up no gun. You know, and you know, like, as Spider-Man. So like, this is like your only time you're getting it, and his guns are actually like as his webs. Look at that. He's like this. You know, pow 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 pow, man. So yeah, man, definitely a dope swipe. But I also love, man, one thing I love about my boy KK Lounge, man, is like, you know, he puts in the figures too, you know, because, you know, look at Aaron, man. Aaron is the most comic guy ever. And look, man, we still collect.
Oh, yes,
we still collect the figures. I mean, we collect it all.
That's the point when I'll start to worry about the shop. If I'm not excited about comics anymore, if I'm not excited about toys anymore, that's when I'll know I need to step away from the shop.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
No, don't ever do that, bro. Don't ever do that, man.
If I'm not excited about comics anymore, put me in the ground. I don't want to be.
I don't want to be alive.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one.
So what you guys think about these two covers, man? The swipe and the OG one.
I like it, and when this like, kind of like what you guys said earlier, like or actually Aaron said earlier, like, everyone is trying to get the first appearances, and they're trying to go for the next best thing. You know, ASM 129. You know, when Punisher's in there. You know, people tend to, okay, well, this is the first appearance. Let me shoot for the solo series, kind of like Silver Surfer, FF48, ASM 129. They go for the SS1. You know, the Punisher 1, and I kind of started seeing a trend of people hunting down the first solo series, and if they can, they'll get the newsstand, whatever they can, you know, they can get their hands on. But I did see a little trend though, like people collecting first solo series of specific characters before they started going up in price. But, you know, just like the market, you know, there's a vast variety of comic books to collect, and, you know, it takes a majority to make the price go up. So yeah, what do you think about this, Aaron?
I love Zach. I've never loved these covers for the Punisher miniseries. It's the slightly like airbrushed coloring on them that kind of tweaks me a little bit. But I kind of got into an argument with someone recently about the what if Peter Parker had become the Punisher, because I had not seen this version, because What If for a while was doing like an A cover and a B cover. And the B cover for this is a different Punisher cover swipe. The B cover for this is Peter Parker, like, in the same suit, but he's like back up against the wall with the blaster, like the web shooters ready to go. And it's a cover swipe of a Punisher magazine, and so the customer was saying, you know, like, oh, that What If, the cover swipe of the Zek #1. I was like, oh, it's not the Zek #1, it's a Punisher magazine, but, you know, whatever. And he's like, no, man, it's the first issue. Like, I was like, no, like, he's back up against the wall. It's a different one, and we were both describing the same issue of What If, but with different covers that were both homages of other Punisher covers. So it was a few months later that I found this cover, and I was like, oh, that's what I was talking about, the B cover the whole time, and he was talking about the A cover. But I thought that it was pretty rad that both the A cover and the B cover were both homages to classic Punisher covers.
Definitely, man. They're dope, man. Let's check the prices on these guys. So, oh yeah, man. So this is kind of a mid-priced book, man. It's about
$20 maybe.
Yeah. 20 to 25 bucks, man. So maybe it's a book I can find over at Comic-Con special, man. Hopefully, I like the cover. I'm with you, man. That airbrush style doesn't get me, man. It's like the blue and the black. That's why I like the swipe, man. There's it's kind of more life to it, right? Like the colors, man.
The one that bothers me the most is like the water brush colors, like covers.
Yeah.
I mean, those ones, like,
oh man, come on, David Mack, bro, come on, you gotta like
because I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice in a sense of art, but you miss the details, like the details of certain characters. So
yeah,
or certain covers. So yeah, I'm not into like the whole watercolor scheme, like kind of like what I think Alex Ross does that, and so I'm not really into his covers or anything like that.
Oh,
all right, man. And then you got this one. I'm gonna give this one to you, Aaron, because this is one of your pull customers, bro.
From Paul in the 619.
Yeah.
All right. Paul says, "Let me try this again. I posted the wrong pics last time. No judgment. I was challenged by my boy Hoodrat Comics to find some homage covers that I own for fun. The task was actually tougher than I thought. Took me a while to find just 2. He found a good one in a Giga #1. Shout out to the classic Shogun Warriors from the 70s. I really liked Giga. I thought that it was a really fun series. And Vault has been doing a lot of those homage covers. Like almost every first issue that they do will have an A cover, a B cover, and then a C cover that's an homage. They do some really nice deep cuts. Like a Shogun Warriors is not an immediate, like it's not as recognizable as an ASM 50. It's not as recognizable as some of the other cover swipes that we've looked at. But Shogun Warriors I thought was really fun because it's giant, it's mechs. Like Shogun Warriors was about giant, like skyscraper-sized robot warriors. There's a comic adaptation of a toy line in the 70s. And then Giga is a really cool sci-fi series that's about a world that exists post like a post-mech world, I guess, where all of the mechs have now died down. And so basically whole cities have developed where, like, instead of living in apartment buildings, people live in abandoned mechs. So it was a really cool way to kind of like not just like show homage to like an older cover, but also to use the theme of the series to tie it together too. Like they're both about mechs, they're both about these giant robots. So I thought that was a pretty sweet reference. It was a good pick, Paul. You did good.
Wow, that's funny you mentioned mechs. Wait, because on first I wanted to say it reminds me of Transformers, but there was I think it's called Avengers Strikes Back or something like that. Yes, Mech Strike. And I picked up a few of those. Honestly, I picked up a few of those. I liked it. I liked the cover, and it was kind of like a little spec that I had. But anyways, it was very interesting to see like big mech machines being used by like the Avengers, because you know Iron Man is kind of out of the scene now. So how are they going to, like, I mean, now they have Star-Lord, but still, like, not everyone's all in a group. So how are they going to transfer to, like, universe to universe, or like travel in space and stuff like that? So I was like, oh, so maybe they're gonna build giant suits or something. I don't know. I was just like thinking out in the wild, but I liked it too, But that's so cool that you said mechs, and I was like, oh yeah, Mech Strikes Back, and then they came out with those too. So
yeah, who doesn't love big robots?
Yeah.
Hey, we all grew up on big robots in the 80s, man. We had Voltron. You guys, in the 90s they had the Power Rangers. Americans, we love these big robots, man. Keep bringing them, man. But check the prices on these, and hey, man, great post, Paul. And Paul's a homie, man. So, $4, and then there's this Giga Ultimate Comics cover exclusives, glow in the dark one that I saw, man.
That one's
Going for
cool.
about
cool.
$80. Looks dope, dude. You know, so and then we got one more. One left, man, for Aaron. What do you got, Aaron? And is this guy the real American or what, bro?
He's a real something.
Yeah, brother.
So I'm glad you saved this one till last, because I wouldn't have wanted to lead by telling you that I don't really love cover swipes. Like it's not something that I get especially jonesed for. I sometimes kind of like roll my eyes. Like you see a lot of the same stuff over and over again. Like I feel like in the last month there's been 5 Ninja Turtle #1 cover swipes.
Right?
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
like
more.
Nirvana Nevermind. I've seen 3 Nirvana Nevermind cover swipes in the last month. It just gets to be too much after a while.
Yeah.
But it always feels to me like, do either of you guys watch wrestling?
Yeah,
A little
I
bit.
used to love watching Rikishi and Eugene. Oh yeah, those and El Rey Mysterio or
Yeah.
what's his name? Eddie Guerrero. Oh,
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh
Yeah,
man, he
one of
was
the greats.
so dope, man.
So in wrestling, they call it a cheap pop. So like when they come out and they do something that's like a really easy way to get a reaction from the crowd. Like somebody will come out and they'll say, "We're really happy to be here in San Diego," and then everyone, like it's called a cheap pop. And I always think that homage covers and cover swipes are a cheap pop. Like it's a real easy way to like get a reaction from somebody. So I thought that it was interesting to see like a wrestling themed cover swipe. So I'm glad you ended with it. So I didn't have to at the start of the show say, I don't like cover swipes. They're not my favorite thing.
You see him all the time, bro. You have a shop, you're like, oh shit, oh another one. Oh.
Yeah, and I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum. Like if somebody loves cover swipes, you collect what you like. It shouldn't matter what I think. It means more for you.
It's funny that you bring this up, Ian, because I noticed I follow a few people on eBay, and besides comic books that they sell wrestling action figures, and I'm surprised sealed wrestling action figures.
Really?
They go for a good amount of money.
No way,
Like,
bro.
like the vintage stuff.
Yeah,
Dude, for a couple $100 just for one.
Absolutely. Even newer figures, guys from the last 10 years, once they leave WWE, like CM Punk, like any of his WWE elites from the last 10 years, his pops too, like once those guys leave WWE, they kind of like erase all existence, like all evidence of them existing. So CM Punk, like a figure that 10 years ago was $15 can run $150, $200 now.
Wow.
Like there's a huge fandom for wrestling. And some of the first comics I ever read were wrestling comics. Like WCW used to have wrestling comics in the early 90s. And I loved this one for a couple of stupid reasons. Like it's clearly the Secret Wars #8 cover swipe when Spidey gets his black costume for the first time. And I love that they've got Hogan on the cover, Hogan wearing the all black NWO outfit. I thought that was a good nod too. But the Secret Raw title for the WWE book, like that got me, man. Like Secret, like Monday Night Raw has been their show for the last 25 years. Like Secret Raw.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Secret Raw.
I thought that was a really good dumb one. Like that got me.
And it just wore the other way around. It's the other way around. They kind of nailed it, dude. They nailed it.
Monday Night Raw, Secret Raw.
It's a cheap pop. It got me.
Oh, there you go, man. Who's
your top 3 favorite wrestlers, Aaron?
Top 3 favorite wrestlers. Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect, and Mick Foley. I'll say today I'll say those 3. Tomorrow it could change.
Tomorrow it could change, guys. Nice.
Who was that guy who used to cover? He used to walk around with the 4x4. Mr.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, bro. I used to love Hacksaw Jim.
Oh,
Walking around like this, bro. Oh, like
I,
dude.
I saw Hacksaw Jim Duggan wrestle Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, at the Cape Cod Melody tent in probably 1993. And I thought that it was the coolest thing in the world. And I bought one of those foam 2x4s. It was like a big foam finger, but it was a foam 2x4 that had Hacksaw's name on it. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I probably got rid of it when I went to college, and wish that I still held on to that.
Oh man, when in the 80s, I was a big 80s wrestler fan, man. And we actually made a little like makeshift wrestling ring in the back of my house. Yeah. And we thought it was real, bro. So we just go at it real, bro. Like we bring out the chairs and start hitting each other with chairs. You know, like because you're kids, you don't know, dude. Like, sure. You know. So, and my dad used to say it's actually pretty real. You know, like, oh, okay, just to hit each other with chairs, man. But let's check out the price with what's going on with this one, man. So you get this one for about $15. $15, not bad, man. If you're a Hulkamaniac, is that what they call them now? Hulkamaniacs, man.
Sure. We try not to talk about him too much anymore. He's not as popular now. He's a little bit.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember when I was a kid because you couldn't watch him unless he was in WrestleMania. You know, like you had to pay for it, man. To see Hulk, you had to pay that like $25. So we go over to a friend's house. We had a house, and they would get it all the time. So we go over there and watch the WrestleMania and stuff. Like, so we were cheap, man. We were broke.
For Thanksgiving, we used to go up to Maine to visit my aunt and uncle, and the restaurant that we went to would always have pay-per-views running there. And Survivor Series used to run on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, dang.
I used to love going up there because it meant that I got like a free pay-per-view. Like it's the kind of thing I never would have gotten. But as a kid, like I remember I watched The Undertaker debut, like family sitting at the table, like eating Thanksgiving. And I'm like peeking over the bar, trying to watch the wrestling matches. Like that's old school.
Man, the Undertaker, bro. That Undertaker, man. That dude smashed, man. But Aaron, man, like, thanks for joining us, bro, man. We really appreciate you coming on. And hey, man, and I got another show coming that Aaron's gonna try to be on as well, man. And I look forward to having you on that. But tell them more about your shop, man, and where they can find you right now during San Diego Comic-Con special, man.
Absolutely. You can find me right now. Twitter and Instagram is the easiest if you need immediate gratification. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's just Now or Never Comics on Instagram and Facebook. Now or Never Comic with no S on Twitter, just because of character limits. And then if you want to find the shop, not immediately, but say like a few minutes from now, like just a short walk from the convention center, 1055 F Street, right downtown, short walk from the convention center. The closest shop to the con. So if you don't get enough comics at special edition and you need your fix, swing by the shop, hang out. We got new comics, we got back issues, we got toys, video games, tabletop games, paperback books, records, trading cards, a little bit of everything.
Magazines, like if you're looking for the magazines too, you got magazines there, man.
I have everything.
New toys, old toys, pops, CGC books, raw books. No bags and boards. That's the only thing we don't have.
And price. Hey, can we? We're keeping it real, right here, Godly. And price fairly. And price fairly. Oh yeah. Everything's priced fairly. Priced fairly, man. Over at
I'm not running a museum. This stuff is priced to sell. Over 100 long boxes of dollar books upstairs from Black Friday until December 8th, our 3rd anniversary. So definitely swing by, stock up on dollar books. We got plenty of good stuff in there.
Yep. But the next slide, I thought I'd put it there, but I didn't. So that's why you saw the bing, bing, bing. You know. So, but hey, man, Aaron, man, we appreciate you coming on, man, and you're always welcome to come on, bro. Like, like you are a San Diego comic fan. We are small. We are like I don't know. We're like a medium. I mean, how would you say the comic community here in San Diego compared to Boston, man? It's like, is it as big or bigger or smaller?
It's probably about the same size. San Diego's got a little bit more sprawl than Boston. A lot of the shops in Boston are like pretty tightly compact. there's a lot more interaction between shops in Boston, and kind of like comic communities in Boston. The shop that I used to work at used to do comic shop trivia. They called it Battle of the Comic Shop All Stars, and every shop would assemble a team of like 4 or 5 people, and then you would have a trivia contest. And it was like, just for bragging rights, everybody kicked in like $100, and the winner donated it all to charity. So whatever shop won got to pick the charity that the money went to. But it was always so rad to have like 10 different shops that were all interacting with each other. The guys from Webhead Comics are going to talk to the guys from Comically Speaking, and the guys from Magic Dragon are going to talk to the guys from Kamikaze. Like the shops were a little bit more social with each other. There's a couple of shops out here that are a little bit more siloed. I'd love to be able to do more stuff with more shops. There's plenty of good folks. I know you guys talk about Matthias at Nowhere all the time.
Yeah.
He's
another good one. Matthias at Nowhere in San Marcos, man.
Yeah.
He's a great shop. That's where I have my pull list.
But yeah, good shops. We try to bounce folks back and forth between each other. So that's been pretty rad. Like from the first day we opened, if we didn't have something in stock, we'd say like, oh, we don't have it. Swing by TC's Rockets in San Marcos, or head up to SoCal, visit Jamie in Claremont, and people would be like, "You're telling me to go to another shop?" And I'll say like, "I don't have it. I can't get it for you. I want you to be happy. I want you to find the thing that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Here's a place where you can go and try it." People are like, "Oh man, that's awesome." And so after a while, we'd send people up to SoCal, and then SoCal would start sending people down to me. And so it's been nice having a little bit of that overlap. But yeah, the community has been really, really cool. It's been awesome doing smaller shows, like seeing you guys at the little show last week, the San Diego Comic Book Show. It's rad that's happening a little bit more. There's a lot of good regulars. There's a lot of good folks that I think support a lot of different shops, and try to do a lot of stuff for the community. So glad to be a part of it. Glad to help grow it.
Hey man, it was a pleasure having you on, man. And you like I said, man, you're always welcome to come on. And but yeah, that's our show, man. And Godly, man, but you have anything to leave everybody with? Maybe they should find us over at Special, right? At the at CCSE. Find us. If
you guys could find me and say, "Yo, Godly Comics, you got an exclusive for me?" I'll give you an exclusive. I'll bring an exclusive with me, and I'll give you guys an exclusive. The first person that says Golly Comics, you got an exclusive for me, I'll give you the exclusive.
I'm gonna take the day off. I'm gonna take the day off and track you down now.
All right, go ahead. First person. I'll clip it and I'll put it on my Instagram.
And there you go, man. And head over to Aaron's shop too.
You have the head start, Aaron.
If you go in a special edition, and check out his dollar bins and check out everything else, man. Because like me and Godly said, we can vouch, man. He has the most organized, cleanest shop, with a lot of great stuff there, man.
With first day drops, no inflation prices either. No limits. So it's real nice.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for the kind words.
All right, man. I'm Hoodrat, you're Hoodrat, and we all Hoodrats, man. And we'll catch y'all later, man. Deuces.
Peace out, guys.